Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that if you're returning. How you doing? Um, we're going to be talking about a few things, and then I've got some really awesome videos to show you, okay? This first email comes in from a community member, and she sent me some screenshots that I'll read to you, okay? And I'll also put them up on the screen. She said, I don't know what's going on in Oscoda, and that's Oscoda, and I think that's Michigan. She said, but it's got a lot of people concerned of what's next. Some are saying water cleanup from 1994 until now, from missiles, etc., that the metal cans they were buried with, the chemicals are leaking and showing hot. Some are saying war immigration issues, some weather related. I personally think it's another shiny object to grab people's focus, but just in case it's not, I want you to share and see what you can find out. So this first one, it says, the old Nike sites keep giving. Have one locally that became a kids' play park after decommissioning. For whatever reason, they came back after decades and decades and did another environmental check. Found a hot corner of the park, off-scale type readings. Did an intentional investigation dig, immediately hit gold. Instead of hauling away the site stockpile of missile fuel and other chems, dug a hole and buried it. Rusty drums, contaminated soil, you name it. Now I'll read you this, and it says the population is low enough that maybe there aren't cancer clusters, but if I lived in the area I would be very concerned. I don't think the locals have drank the water around there in decades. It's been a known thing that there was a lot of pollution. Van Etten, Etten Lake across the street has some great fishing. In fact, killer pike fishing if you're looking for that elusive 20-pounder. But there was so much runoff from the dicer, D-E-I-C-E-R, and crap, that it didn't really freeze over, de-icer, sorry, over the winter in the 80s, and not many would eat the fish out of it. I used to fish in a bit in the late 90s, and we ate the perch, but you know, young, dumb, and full of beer. That's funny. Huh. So here's a email for you. It says, number one, Bank of America bracing for $800 million loss. Once the stock starts dropping for Bank of America, other banks will follow. Some will start to go out of business. Number two, Open Door real estate company worth $18 billion lays off 300 workers after 2 layoffs of 500 each. Number three, there's a call to abolish the central bank, but all is good in the world. Yeah, right. I'll believe that when I say it, that all is good in the world. I don't know. If there's a call to abolish the central bank, are you talking about this CBDC? That's a good thing, because I don't want anything to do with that. No joke. All right, so here's something coming at you. Word is seeping out right now from intelligence sources. This was a, what do you want to call it? An article that was sent to me by a community member saying that the Biden regime in the U.S. and the Starmer regime, which is in the UK, all right, are preparing to blow up undersea internet cables to cut global communications. I am not surprised by this by any means whatsoever. I am not. The world is apparently too informed for their liking. Why do you think there's so much censorship, man? Okay. And shutting off international internet access will cut off the free flow of information long enough for them to start WW3 and blame Russia, China, North Korea for it. They can never take responsibility for the shite that they create, can they? It's disgusting. And then they got to point fingers and say, it was you, it was you. You know? Madmen seem to be in charge of the government nowadays, huh? And they want to start this chaos, this mayhem, before 47 even enters Pennsylvania Avenue. And this is just, this is disgusting. But you know what? I knew something big was going to happen. Now, whether or not they actually are successful with this, I don't know. But, not for nothing, we were actually having the discussion here in this house about switching over to Starlink. But the initial startup, it's a little out of our range, if I'm going to be honest with you. All right, I think the Starlink, like the little, like it looks like an antenna, I guess, if you want to call it that. All right, it's like $400 or $500 and something dollars. And then it's like $120 a month.
I don't think it's available here.
No, it is available here. I already checked. Yeah, and I was just like, well, that's one way of getting around their BS, But if I was Elon, okay, I would lower that price, the initial startup price. I would lower it to where it was financially available to more people, okay, because this ain't gonna fly. All right, because a lot of people rely on the internet for their income. I mean, we have a lot of home-based businesses here. Okay, you have people who run websites to, like people who make money off of Etsy and stuff like that. All right, one of my best friends from childhood, she runs her business on Etsy. And that's how she supports her family. You know what I mean? I mean, this is like the type of thing that, goes through my head. I mean, who the hell are these people to say, we're just going to cut you off because you know too much? Well, excuse me. Okay? It's called being intelligent, you jackass. So, now they're saying that this is going to bind 47 to this chaos and mayhem and make it impossible for him to avoid it. Kind of like what they did with Mr. 19. You know what I'm saying? And you see, they need this war to collapse the world economy and therefore enable them to say that the US and the UK creditors, our economy is wrecked because of 47 and our people are now perished and we can't repay all the trillions that we owe and we need debt forgiveness and yada, yada, yada. Well, guess what? The people are too damn smart, okay? And we're not going to fall for that, oh, we feel bad. We can blame Trump now. We're not going to blame him. Because we know better. We've seen this happen before. How you try to blame him for everything. Remember Russia? Remember that? Collusion. And when everybody found out that it was a big fat lie. Okay? But one thing I will say, that this seems to be what is driving the course of action. The need to walk away from debt, but to blame it on the war. Why? Because war makes money, okay? This is dangerous grounds that they are walking on right now. It's very dangerous, I will say that. All right, y'all. On to the videos, okay? Here we go.
So let me give you an update on what's going on with North Carolina because the media isn't doing this.
Hi, welcome to my news channel. I go by Conscious Juice. Do you see this brown, dirty, murky water over here, y'all? They found out that the rivers in North Carolina is flowing in the opposite direction, and they are finding these strange geometric shapes on top of the water, these frequency lines. Y'all see what I'm saying? Y'all see these?
What does it mean? I don't know. I'm hoping someone's going to explain it. So which way did the river used to go? Like that direction. Well, you want to walk down here? Okay. So it's changed direction. God.
Not only that, there is also a toxic aroma in the air and also in the mud, so powerful that is literally disintegrating boots. The theory is it's actually the lithium mixed with the cadaver bacteria that's actually disintegrating the boot.
The mud is so toxic, it's disintegrating the boots of people trying to clean up. So we have a real problem in our river that was the purest and cleanest water in the world is now completely toxic and disintegrating people's boots. Yeah, it's bad. We're in a very bad situation. And they're having nosebleeds and coughing up blood. So anybody near these things is in serious trouble. Where do all these toxins come from?
So the mud is toxic, the air is toxic, but the media is not talking about this to warn people to tell them to stop going to North Carolina. And if you've been on TikTok lately, you've been seeing people going to North Carolina to help people out. Do y'all believe something new could arise from this, y'all? Because this is how disease, sickness, and viruses start. And the lack of coverage on the part of the media on this, y'all, astounding. If they were looking for an award, they definitely got it. But I'm just letting y'all know what's going on with North Carolina. So let me know what you guys think about this video down in the comments. But let's continue to get this shift, y'all. Peace out.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg didn't think that Roe v. Wade was the appropriate statute on which to be hanging reproductive freedom. And Obama campaigned in 2007. There was a bill introduced to the 110th Congress, H.R. 1964, the Freedom of Choice Act. He campaigned. The first thing I'm going to do as president is sign that bill. Once he was elected, I quote, "Not my highest legislative priority." I don't know why I should actually trust Democrats to enshrine reproductive rights as national law, because they had the opportunity so many times over the past decades. Most recently, in 2009, 2010, they didn't do it. Kamala's coming here and campaigning in Michigan on reproductive freedom. Guess what? It's part of our state constitution. Like, that's manipulation of voters.
Oh, the place is cute. What is she saying? What is she saying? Hi. Hi, Evie. Hi. I see you. I see you.